Hi guys. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about chapter 4 and some of the historical parallels there. Okay, you did the Ed puzzle, but I just wanted to give you something concrete to take a look at and make sure that we're all on the same page. So, in chapter 4, Snowball spreads animalism with the pigeons, and that is to parallel Trotsky's desire to spread communism throughout the world. And so, at least Europe, that was. But this is supposed to also be a reference to the domino effect. And sometimes that's called the snowball effect. It starts off small and gets bigger and bigger, as you can imagine. Okay? And so Mr. Jones, of course, is drinking and at the pub, and the other farmers aren't really as worried as they should be. The other farmers, such as Mr. Frederick, he is the owner of Pinchville, Germany. He's actually supposed to be a parallel to Hitler, and most of you are familiar with Hitler's desire for world domination for Germany. And Frederick is actually a composite of the leaders of Germany, but he's mostly the representation of Hitler. Okay, so that's just one of the other neighboring farms. It's to parallel a neighboring country. Similarly, we have Mr. Pilkington, who's the owner of Foxwood Farm, and he doesn't represent one person in particular either, but he's supposed to be a composite of all the leaders of England, which at the beginning of the revolution and such, it was Prime Minister Chamberlain, and then Churchill became Prime Minister of England, and then also later USA FDR entered into World War II. So he's going to be a combination of all of those. And so again, this is to parallel the other farmers not being so worried that England and Germany didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the Bolsheviks at first, but later started to fear for their own countries' farms. Okay, so we have the Battle of the Cowshed, and that is to parallel the Russian Civil War that was from 1918 to 1922 between the Bolsheviks, communists, Red Army, and the anti-Bolsheviks, the white. Okay, and so we know that the Bolsheviks win. All right, we win this war, but it's not without its gore and blood. First of all, we have Molly, who's hiding during the battle. She's literally putting her head in the hay in her stable. And that represents kind of the bourgeoisie class who hid their heads in the sand and didn't much pay attention nor benefit from the revolution. And so it's interesting, too, that Snowball is the hero. He learns a lot of his techniques from Julius Caesar's campaign that he found a book on in the farmhouse. And so we also learn about kind of the brutality of war is a theme that pops up here. And when, for a minute, Boxer thinks that he killed a boy, he says he is dead, said Boxer sorrowfully. I had no intention of doing that. I forgot that I was wearing iron shoes. Who will believe that I did not do this on purpose? And Snowball cries, no sentimentality, comrade, cried Snowball, from whose wounds the blood was still dripping. War is war. The only good human being is a dead one. And that's a pretty powerful statement. They have pinpointed man as the enemy, and now they have won against man. So it bonds them a little bit more, but it also makes us, feel for Boxer and love him even more because he is really upset at the thought that he may have killed a human. So he tells Boxer there's no compassion in war. And so they celebrate their victory by doing a few things. They raise the flag, they sing their song, they bury and honor the dead, and they give speeches, award medals, and declare a national holiday. Okay, so those are the things with chapter 4, and you can just look on this timeline and see about where we are. We have Snowball and Napoleon still leading. And of course, here's a map to show geographically some of the parallel here. But back here, one of the things we don't hear of anything that our beloved Napoleon has done for this battle. So I want you to think about why he is not mentioned here. Okay, that's that.